It's no state secret that a winning football team is won with a winning quarterback. There is no substitute for a poised, confident veteran who knows when to throw and to whom. The 49ers quarterback is John Brodie, and in 1968, he was a winner. A veteran of 12 seasons, John has a complete knowledge of the game and is able to perform accordingly. Whether he's throwing the bomb or lofting a sideline pass over a linebacker's outstretched hand, John is in control of the situation. And John was in control to the tune of 22 touchdowns while completing 57% of his passes to finish third among all NFL quarterbacks. An excellent tactician, John utilizes his personnel to the best of their abilities. Confidence in himself and his teammates is prerequisite for any quarterback. John's leadership is not limited to locker room polemics, but a rapport that exists, and it is this relationship that manifests itself on the scoreboard. A tough competitor, John has earned the respect of his teammates through his ability to sustain punishment, to shake it off and come back. That's the mark of a champion.
John Brodie was, in the true sense of the word, field general. And what intrigued John Brodie about football was the mental challenge. And he was a problem solver. He loved to get in the sidelines and get the team together and explain what they were going to do.
See, we didn't have a whole bunch of people coordinating an offense.
Hey, you guys, offense!
Am I going back in?
Hey, offense, I think so. I don't know if he is or not. Who's going in?
There weren't enough coaches on the staff, and there wasn't near the extreme of organization.
Hey, O's, come on over. Forrest, you got a second? It's all right. Come on up here, fellas. You all right? All right, look. If we call a 60 fullback trail either way, it was going to the weak side. And if they blitz halfback, just pass him up. I'll dump it to the fullback. And, baby, we got a piece of cake. At least we can get him out of it.
And whether it was for better or worse, I happen to think that the players on the field felt a lot more responsible for what they said they could do.
We're bypassing one on the blitz.
We know that. That's my problem.
And it seemed to work.
The only instructions that John Brodie got from his coach was, damn it, get it right.
John Brodie admits things never went as well as he might have liked when the 49ers played against the Dallas Cowboys, but he says he remembers one game in particular.
Well, you know, over the years, you make friends of some of the competitors you play with, and Bob Lilly and I had played some in Pro Bowls and things, and we were coming along about the same time, and we'd go out to dinner, this and that, and at the end of one of our Pro Bowls, he said, now make sure when you come to Dallas you give me a ring. Well, about a year later, we're playing him in a championship game, and I had a message at the hotel when we got there, call Bob Lilly. And I thought, you know, I'd really like to, but what are we going to talk about? I mean, it's like there's nowhere we can really go, and the oxygen's a little thin right now for both sides, so why don't we just... So I went out to dinner and forgot the call. And about the first series of downs, all of a sudden there's this ham hock that's hanging over the top of my helmet. My eyes are crossed, and I'm laying on that Dallas turf, which is quite synthetic, but I knew that was a real hand that was laying on the top of my helmet, and I heard this voice saying, I figured, big fella, when you didn't call, you thought we might get together out here. And I have never not returned a call since.
Unlike many players who resented certain questions from the press, Brodie says the most annoying questions he received as a quarterback were from coaches.
You know, you throw an interception, right? And you walk off the field, and the coach says, why'd you do that? It got to the point where I started saying, oh, I wanted to. You know, I throw him a few. He hadn't had many today. You know, the absurd question, I think, deserves an absurd answer. The only problem is the absurd question is never understood by the guy that's asking it. He just thinks your answer is absurd. And as a result, I spent a lot of time on the pine. But, that, you know, I wouldn't have it any other way.
The premium quarterback is the veteran who has aged gracefully and grown in wisdom. Such a man as John Brodie of the San Francisco 49ers, whose talent lies in recognizing and exploiting any defense.
Get it, kid, get it! He's in there!
ups and downs are not what's important. I learned that it's how you handle them.
They're coming, just remember.
It's a wonderful stage from which to view life. You're willing to take all the bumps and all the risks because they're really unimportant.
Ken, did you ever get the ball? Huh? I thought I had it to you, and then I heard you. I felt you screaming.
And I tried to cut back at the same time.
And really, I walked away from it with no regrets, really. I mean, it was wonderful. I just wished I had the body to play it about 12, 15 more years. I'd have been doing it.
John, back to pass he goes. In trouble, gonna run. He's got a little punt. Touchdown! In trouble, ran straight up the middle into the end zone for the score.